So I know a lot of the tributes have been pouring in for Twitch, and even I did a tribute for the man, a little dance, because I like to dance, and I'm very inspired by dancers. But his circumstances with him having committed, suicide, it's prompted a lot of people to have that discussion. And myself, I have attempted, I had attempted twice in the past, once in 2011 and then once again in 2016. My thought processes at the time was that this is the worst and life is never going to get better from here. And I firmly believe that. Mind you, when I attempted the second time, it had been a series of unfortunate events stemming from as early as 2005 all the way up till 2016. So my beliefs was that it just was not going to get any better, is what I firmly believed. And it led me to attempt. And both attempts were unsuccessful, thankfully. And what saved me ultimately was my sister found me. And we made a pact with one another that we would not go through with something like that. So I made a pact to her that I would stay here. She made a pact to me that she would stay and that we would try to find the silver lining in life and try not to do that. But it's been a very long journey. I'm in such a better headspace. What helped me was my dad getting out. He was locked up for a period of time. And so when he was released and back into my life, that was a blessing, and having that person there. But a lot of people don't have support systems. And a lot of people might have support systems and might have the best support system that you would think that they would need, and still experience intense sadness. And it's literally, for a lot of people, chemical imbalance in their brain, and they can't be happy. They can't be truly happy. They have constant thoughts of wanting the pain to just end. And for me, it wasn't that I believed that everybody would be better off without me. I knew everybody would miss me. I knew that I was the shit, okay? I knew that it would be a loss, but I didn't feel loved, and I didn't feel appreciated, and I didn't feel wanted. And I knew that I just did not want to feel that pain anymore. And that was all I was thinking about, was myself and the pain that I had endured, the years of pain that I had endured. And so those things led me to my attempts. And yeah, it's some crazy stuff. Going through the things that I went through, suicide was not as widely talked about. We have suicide prevention classes in the Army, and I've lost many battle buddies to suicide. And so I had heard many things about it and the prevention, but we don't really talk as in-depth about it as we probably could and probably should. I had attempted to call the suicide hotline. This was back in like 2013. So this is before Logic came out with the song about the suicide hotline. Maybe they've gotten better operators or better people, but those motherfuckers had me on hold, y'all. They had me on hold for like 30 minutes and no one like ever came to answer the phone. After 30 minutes, I pretty much hung it up. The only person that pulled me out of my rut and my series of depressions was myself. I would pray, wouldn't really receive much guidance, as far as maybe I did not meditate as clearly, I don't know. But what pulled me out was myself, really. And I just had to find the strength within myself to carry on and to know that life is worth living, because there are so many people who don't have that opportunity to live. A great notion that I had read once that really helped me was that today is not indicative of tomorrow. And so what does that mean? Obviously, it's like whatever you're feeling right now is not how you're always going to feel. And my beliefs at the time was that I was going to always feel those things. I was going to always feel that pain, and that pain was never going to stop. But as time went on, so many good things happened in my life after that last attempt that I would have otherwise not have experienced. And so the belief that there are some of the best moments of our lives waiting to happen, and they haven't even happened yet, is what helped me to carry on. Not only that, but then one thing that I would always do whenever I found myself like really feeling like, screw it, I can't stand this life, is to look back on old photos. That really helped me, because seeing some memories in the pictures and, all the different things that I had experienced brought back so much joy. And sometimes when you're having bad situations happen, you believe that you have a bad life. And really, it's not that you have a bad life, it's that you have a bad time in your life. And so looking back on those photos, I can see good times and remember and remind myself that, hey, I've lived well, I've had a lot of fun, and there's so many more fun memories to have. And I don't want to take myself out while I'm in hell. If I'm going through hell, I don't want to stop the story in hell. The story does not end here. So just reminding myself of that, and just continuing to press on through the pictures, because I'm like, this guy, this kid, from way back, he deserves the world, and he's going to go out and he's going to do great things, and he's going to conquer the world, and he's going to make an impact for his story. And so that was one of the motivational things. Of course, I didn't look at photos or videos from trying times in my life. I did not want to be reminded of that. But then I also had to change my way of thinking. I had to think more positive and develop a spirit of gratitude, because while good things might not be promised, things can definitely be taken away. And, not everything that is here will last. Nothing is forever. So developing a spirit of gratitude, embracing the goodness that you have, because we're all blessed to some degree, and just embracing that and just basking in what already is and showing a level of appreciation definitely helps as well. I remember I had a friend, I was at training, and she called, and training with the military is its own experience, okay? But I remember she called me and she was like, hey, how you doing? How's life out there? Before I could say anything, because I'm like ready to just go ham, let her know how frustrated I am, and oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this, and I can't believe they're doing that. She was like, before you say anything, tell me 2 good things that have happened to you today. And I'm like, what? I gotta sit here. I was finna complain to you and go off and vent, and now I gotta stop what I was doing and think about some positive things. Like, okay, what good thing happened today? All right, I qualified here at the range. Okay, I got a good score on this. Okay, I had a nice breakfast. That was the only thing good. But dang, now I've got to almost disrupt my natural default way of thinking, which is to think negatively, because the negative things in my life are the most prominent. And now I have to instead think positive things. And so I have to develop that spirit where I'm thinking more positively in my life, and let that be my default setting. So it's all with growing and learning, but, understand that this life is going to do what it do. And there will be plenty of time to be dead when you're dead. I know it's very blunt to say it like that, but it's true. And there are so many things that you have left to do, so much impact that you have for your community, for your world, for yourself. And the story doesn't stop here. It's for a reason. And so you keep pressing on. Find you somebody that you can talk to, somebody that would be receptive to this kind of conversation. If you are experiencing these kinds of thoughts, do not seek out counsel from those that you can't have this kind of conversation with, because that will be almost more detrimental for you than not saying anything at all. Trust me, I know this firsthand. And, just remember, man, life is worth it. It's a lot of pain, but there's also a lot of good. And so just kind of keeping that in mind as you go forward, that's the right mentality to have. And I really hate it for Twitch's family, man. It's right by the holidays, just celebrated their anniversary, the kids, and he's 40. And I really wish that instead of doing that he had, just went to sleep or what have you. But it's one of those things that it's a permanent solution, and they say to a temporary problem. But I don't like that statement. I would rather say, okay, it's a permanent decision, one that you can't come back from. You ever thought back in your life on let's say you was going through some ish back in 2009, right? And let's say you ended your life then based off of just all the hardships and you can't do it no more. And oh my God, imagine all the good things that have happened since 2009. Yeah, it's been some bad that's happened since then, but imagine the good things. Focus on all the miracles, everything that you've experienced in this life since 2009. And then think to yourself, dang, I would not have experienced that if I ended my life over something so minuscule back then. And you might even think back to that time. It's like, dang, what was I even thinking? What was I even wearing? What was my mindset? What was my life like? Like, life has done such a 180 for me since those days that I'm thankful I did not, my attempts did not go through. And I'm thankful that I'm here today. So it's all worth it in the end. So we just got to keep holding on and keep pressing on and living, because we're inspiring somebody. And if not, we're inspiring ourselves. Like, keep going, keep pressing on. It's for a reason. And so, yeah, that's all.